Good morning, it's Kevin and Lisa Cahill with REALean Evolved Real Estate in St. Petersburg, Florida. Out on our morning walk, and a lot of times we just talk on our morning walk about issues that we're dealing with or some of the challenges that our real estate agents mention to us. In particular, we have a relatively new agent who is working with a friend of hers who wants to begin investing in real estate. Andrew Carnegie said that more real estate or more millionaires have been created through their real estate purchases than through any other means. And I'm sure that that's still the case, even though we have, a few unicorns today who made their billions with some WhatsApp or some amazing Facebook invention. But overall, everyday people are going to have a greater chance of accumulating wealth through real estate, and we've seen it happen over and over again. We've enjoyed purchasing, renovating, selling. We've had rental properties that we've owned and managed, and then we've sold. We've owned commercial real estate as well. So there's no doubt that for a lot of people, accumulating real estate is going to be a definite part of their wealth building plan. Now, the first thing that I think we should mention in terms of, as a real estate agent, advising people toward real estate as an investment is that you have to have a really solid foundation. And what I mean by that is that, generally speaking, you have no debt, you're not struggling, you're not living paycheck to paycheck, you have an emergency fund, you have enough income to help you through any lean times that may occur and inevitably will occur in purchasing and owning real estate. You could look at Dave Ramsey, Financial Peace University, his baby steps. I think that's a very important starting point, and I think any real estate agent would be remiss to advise people to begin looking at real estate if they don't have their financials already in a solid place. When you're dealing with, as a real estate agent, dealing with investors, the opportunities can either be, I think there are really only about three general categories of owning real estate. One is you purchase real estate and you hold it for the long term and you cash flow it through rental income. And of course that could be commercial property or residential property, multifamilies, that type of thing. Another one is that you find a great deal, you buy it, don't really do any work to it, but you flip it really quickly, which is really rare. It's difficult to find that. And it's not really a strategy that is found in every real estate market. And then the third general category would be buy, renovate, or improve, and then sell for a profit. So when you're looking at the first category, we're sort of going to ignore the flipping category, although a lot of people say, oh, this is a flip, when it's in fact a buy, improve, and sell. A flip is you buy it and sell it without doing a thing to it. So let's ignore that category of pie in the sky, non-existent opportunity. If you're going to buy and hold, then you need to have a very solid understanding, and the sun's right behind me, a very solid understanding of what the financials are for the area where you're going to buy a property, renovate it, and then put it for rent. Or it might already be renovated. So you need to understand what the dynamics are in that area. And as a real estate agent, you can make some phone calls, call around to other property owners, find out about what the rents are that they're getting, how long have those tenants been there, when was the last time that they increased the rents, What type of wiggle room do they have to further improve the rental possibility on that property? And then you can also look at, if a property is needing improvement but it's currently renting, what's the current rental income? And let's turn around. That sun is right in our eyes, right in the camera. So what's the opportunity if you renovate, put it back up for rent at higher rents? A lot of people, and we're seeing this a lot because the market has been improving dramatically. It's 2017 right now, and over the past few years, a lot of wealth has returned to real estate. So we're seeing investments. You need to know, in order to buy, improve, and sell, what that delta is. What's the difference between what the thing is worth today, what's the lowest price a buyer can acquire that property, how much work does it really need, and oh, by the way, you should always budget a considerable amount, 20 to 30% for while you're at it, and the hiccups and the issues that occur, whether it be that the plumbing is actually just terrible, and while everything's running properly, pretty quickly you realize that the plumbing is antiquated and buyers are going to have an issue with it because they're going to bring in a home inspector who's going to find out that the drains aren't flowing fast enough, the roof needs to be replaced, the air conditioning or heating systems are antiquated and need to be replaced. You need to know, if I buy it today for, let's say, $200,000, I put $50,000 into it, I've got $250,000 into it, am I looking at a $300,000 property, or am I looking at a $252,000 property? And you can do that research, and as a real estate agent, scour the MLS, understand what has recently been on the market, what has successfully sold, what would your investor be competing against in today's market, what's the timeline, and what will the market look like when they put it on. Of course, we don't have a crystal ball, but you can look at seasonality. If you're up north, is this property going to be completed and ready to be put on the market on Thanksgiving weekend? That's a terrible time. You don't want to do that. You want to time it so that in the north it can be on the market in the spring. Down here in Florida, you can put a property on the market most any month. However, the best months, especially along the coasts, are those months where the tourists are down. The Canadians are down, or the northerners are down looking at real estate. So you don't necessarily want to put it on the market in the middle of the summer in Florida. You'd ideally like to have it come on the market, late January, early February. It's a fantastic time to put a property back on the market. Now, there's money to be made every month of the year in real estate. There are opportunities in bad real estate markets, and there is overpriced junk in good real estate markets. So you need to be wise to appropriately price a property and have it built with the value and the profit already determined for the investor. If you can't find enough value in it for the end result, then what Lisa calls that is just trading money. Mm-hmm. You're putting $250,000 into it, and a lot of equity, and a lot of stress, and a significant amount of risk. And at the end of the day, you've got $250,000. You got out all of the money you put into it. What's the point? Yeah. Your time's valuable. Your money could be sitting in a Vanguard account, earning 10% or something. Why would you trade money and take all that liability and risk only to fall victim to a hiccup in the market? The interest rates change. Flood insurance issues in Florida are a constant concern, and if suddenly people have insurance issues, it's going to considerably make a dent in their opportunity and the end profit. Lisa, anything else that we should remember to share with
Just
our newer agents?
as we've done on another video, always when you're helping buyers, always be mindful of additions that are previously done that are not permitted.
Right.
That can cause a problem with lending, and it can cause problems when you're pulling permits to do other improvements.
And appraisal, if the next buyer is a financed buyer, if there's an issue with a bathroom that was not permitted or a bedroom that was not properly permitted by the city or the county, the appraiser might just eliminate that as even a consideration. That's a good point.
Yes.
So as real estate agents, you need to do a ton of research. You need to be strong and bold and advise people not to buy something if it's not a wise investment. I always treat people as though they're my brother or my cousin or my uncle or my aunt, a sister of mine. Don't do that. Don't buy that. That's a waste. It's ridiculous. Here, let me show you the 7 reasons not to buy this one. Come on, there are other opportunities. Let's go find one. Oh no, I like this one. I like this neighborhood. You're about to make a colossal mistake. Don't do it. I wouldn't have my family member do it, so I'm not going to let you do it. Too often we see real estate agents so hungry to make a buck that they'll advise somebody towards something that ends up being a complete nightmare. And what happens? They have their commission, but they're not there for the next time around when the person goes to sell it. And it's not the right way to treat people. Well, we hope this has been helpful for you, and we wish you all the very best.